Focused on quality and convenience, there isn't much you won't find at Marie's Mini Mart. Home-style breads, sandwiches, plus a variety of artisan breads and delicious single-serve desserts available exclusively at our Frecker Drive location. Marie's Mini Mart, with 25 locations wherever you go, there we are.
Welcome to Sharing Our Cultures. This is where you meet remarkable individuals from diverse cultural backgrounds who are making significant contributions in our community. Joining me in conversation today is Dr. Leonard Lye, Professor Emeritus at Memorial University. And Sharing Our Cultures will be right back. Welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures. I have with me Dr. Leonard Lye. He's a Professor Emeritus at Memorial University, an inventor, and an entrepreneur. Welcome to Sharing Our Cultures, Dr. Lye.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's great to see you here, and we want to hear all about what you've been doing. Some very exciting designs that you made while you were at Memorial University and since then. So let's start.
Okay, well, the thing is, a lot of this stuff happened because of my teaching, the courses that I teach, and I just thought of new ways of basically teaching the principles, right? So that's the reason why the invention happened. And then when you see that, you say, oh, that might be useful. Other people might want to use it, so I start selling them. So that's what happens.
I can see how you ended up having the President's Award for Teaching and Excellent Community Service, and you've won all but one of the Paganel Awards. So what is Paganel, and what are these awards?
Well, okay, for the PECNL, I think the first one was teaching. I think it was 2001. And then I lost track of which one came first after that. And then the community service, and what was service. And I think the last one, just after I retired, was merit.
Okay, merit, yes. Okay, and what is Paganel, for people who don't know?
Professional engineers and geoscientists of Newfoundland and Labrador.
All right, so
yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell us about, you have some equipment here you brought for us.
Well, okay, so this one is called the DOE Golfer. Okay. DOE actually stands for Design of Experiments. So it's one of the graduate courses that I've been teaching for like 20 years. Okay. So it's called Design of Experiments, right? So how do you design an experiment so that you can conduct it, analyze the results, and get good results, I would say. I would say that most engineers, which is actually a fact, they don't have a course at the undergrad level on how to actually design an experiment properly, because it involves quite a bit of statistics. It's part of an advanced statistics course, actually. But at the graduate level, I think we are one of the very few universities that actually offer a full course in design and experiments. I would say, of course, anything that is hands-on, you know, it would help to teach concepts easier if you have something hands-on to play with. Yeah. So when I was teaching this course, I said, oh, maybe this is an idea, right, that might help them understand the principles better. So that's how I invented this machine. Well, it's a device, I call it. I made it's a wooden toy, I would say, where you can adjust many what they call factors, right? Okay, yeah. Things that you can adjust. Okay. Angle, the length, you know. And what else? So you have the angle that you can adjust. Okay. You can change the length, and there's weights behind that you can adjust, right? And direction and things like that. So where you place the ball. So there are 5 or 6 factors that you can adjust. It's like, the idea is like making microwave popcorn in your microwave, right? Yeah. What's the best tasting popcorn? Right. Well, you can adjust the power, you can adjust the time, you can adjust, you know, you can buy a different brand, things like that. So that's the idea, is that how do you do the experiment in a very efficient way and get valid results and then analyze it, right? And get a model out of it, a statistical model, so that you can predict what would happen next time. Yeah. So this is just, and then they do it as a team. playing golf, basically, right? Everybody loves to play golf. So I think when playing with this toy, they will understand the concept a lot better, right? Because that is a hands-on thing.
That's right.
So as a result of that, I also started making them and selling them through my company. So it's used by, I would say, many Fortune 500 companies, huge companies for training of engineers in design experiments, including some of the big semiconductors company in the U.S., Pratt Whitney and Eastman Chemicals, John Deere. I know companies that is like, what? I'm just surprised that myself that all these companies will buy my toy, right? Yeah.
Well, they need it. It's useful.
I guess so.
Yeah. So it has a purpose, and of course, it's a great way to teach students as well. It's hands-on and it's visual.
It's fun anyway.
That's
right. The key is to have fun. Right?
Okay, right. Well, I know you're in so many things, and but I want to focus now on the Tetra Society of North America. You are the coordinator of the local chapter here. What does it do? And
okay, so the Tetra Society of North America actually was founded by Sam Sullivan, who's actually an MP now. And in fact, before that, he was the mayor of Vancouver, who brought the flag back for the Winter Games, quite a while ago. But he's actually an MP in Vancouver. So he had a skiing accident, and then he was basically depressed and at home in his wheelchair, and he needed help with just simple assistive devices. But he couldn't get any, basically. So he wrote to the local Association of Professional Engineers in BC, and one of the volunteer engineers came and helped him solve a lot of problems. And from there, he started this Tetra Society of North America. So that was in the mid-'80s or late '80s. I read about that. Actually, I read about this story in the Maclean's magazine, July edition, 1996. I read that, I said, we can do that here. So I wrote to them, I said, I'm going to start a chapter here. So that's how it got started. So it was September 96 when we first had a big meeting and had 20 over volunteers. And we've been working on Tetra projects ever since. We've done probably hundreds of projects over the last 20 over years. Yeah, so obviously some are more well-known than others. I guess anything that involves hockey and kids always gets into the news. So I guess the most recent headlines, I guess, from the Tetra is the hockey glove. I guess everybody saw that
which you have brought
on
here
TV.
Today.
Yeah. So the problem is hockey gloves. Well, it's a glove, right? So you have 5 fingers. Stick in it. You have your thumb. You have your 4 fingers. But for this particular kid, from Kings Point in central Newfoundland, it was his left hand. He couldn't stick, because of a special form of cerebral palsy, he couldn't stick his fingers into a regular glove. But if you can make the glove into a mitten style, right, where there's no fingers, right, then he can use the glove, you see? So that was one of the requests of the Tetra Society. So I had to get a pair of gloves that fits him and take the glove and convert it into a mitt.
Wow. You converted a hockey glove into a mitt?
A mitt, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that difficult, actually, now that I know how to do it. Now, then obviously CBC did a big story about it. Went to film him and all this stuff. And I even got a thank you postcard from the premier.
Oh,
yeah.
Congratulations. That's good.
Yeah, saying that, well, he's a big hockey fan apparently. Yeah, it took a while to decipher his handwriting, but anyway, basically it's thank you. And then because of that story, I had another request from Ottawa. So this is the one for him, right? 9-year-old kid, but it's on his right hand. Right. So the father sent me the right glove, and I just finished it 2-3 days ago. So this is a mitt now.
Okay, so all right, so sort of explain what you had to do, because it looks like a regular glove.
Yeah, it looks like it, right?
Right,
But
yes.
okay, so first, of course, I have to unstitch, right?
Okay.
Everything, and then cut off the parts that connects, right?
Okay.
And then create the space so that you can now, so that your hands, when you put your hands in there, is not in the way.
Okay.
And then I have to stitch it all back,
Right.
right? So including all this.
All right. Yes.
Yeah. Normally they're separated,
Okay.
but I have to stitch it together so that now it forms a mitt. So when you put your hand in there, it's basically a mitt, right?
Right. Yeah. So how long did it take you to do that?
Well, now that I know what to do, I can get it done in a day, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you first had to think about it and then
Yeah,
figure
the
out.
first
how
one was difficult because I was afraid of messing it up, right? So yeah, so now it's easy now.
Right. Yes. Okay. So more people.
But the idea is that it's not that I want to make more, but I would say manufacturers of hockey gloves probably should consider, right? Making gloves that are mitten style or have the option anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, every kid would have to like rely on a volunteer or somebody to, or maybe just can't play the game, right?
Yeah.
But this is the message to our manufacturers out there, right?
Yeah, it is.
To consider making hockey mitts rather than gloves, right? For kids with certain disabilities, right? So
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
that's good.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, that's really
it's a lot
well
of
done.
fun. Right? You learn something new.
That's right, and you enjoy doing it as well. And whilst you were talking about that, I was just thinking about inclusivity. You know,
Yes.
you have a young child in a classroom, all his students can play hockey,
Exactly.
guys in the glove, and he's
Exactly.
left out standing
Yeah.
on the sidelines.
Exactly.
So I think this is very, very important.
This is,
for-
like I said, this is one of the hundreds of projects we have done, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, the others probably didn't get into the news
Right,
because
yes.
it's not hockey.
Right. Yeah, so what other ones come to mind that you've done before, other ideas?
Okay, well, there's a recent one that we won an award, actually. It's an archery stand. Okay, this kid is a high school kid. He was given a compound bow. You know, it's pretty tough to, even for able-bodied people to draw. But he's in a wheelchair, and again, he's some form of cerebral palsy. So he doesn't have the strength to hold the bow and pull, right? So we designed a stand so that the bow can be locked in place, and then he can adjust the aim, right? And all I have to do is pull it and release. So that stand sits on a platform where his wheelchair can go on, so that for the weight, counterweight, right? And then it's adjustable in, you know, up and down and also sideways, so they can aim.
Okay.
So all I have to do is pull it and shoot, right?
Yes.
So that was,
That's easy.
yeah, again, it's, now you think of it, it's a simple concept, but yeah,
It was necessary.
Yeah, it was award-winning design for
right.
recreation, right?
Congratulations again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the thing is, work-term students actually did on the work on the projects,
Okay.
right? So
All right, yeah.
I just ask questions, that's all, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Sharing Our Cultures will be right back with more information from Dr. Leonard Lye. Welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures, and continuing our conversation now with Dr. Leonard Lye. Well, you've told us so much already, and there's still a lot more to hear from you. So tell us about your involvement with the SHAD program. I think you've been involved since about
Yes.
2003.
Yes,
yeah?
that's right. So the SHAD program is basically a program for high school kids. These are high-achieving high school kids, grade 10 and 11. We used to take grade 12 as well, but now it's only grade 10 and 11. So these are pretty, normally the kids would be the leaders of their, of their schools and things like that in their community. So yeah, so I've been involved since 2003 as what they call a SHAD faculty. And then later in 2007, I became the program director until 2019 or 18, I forgot now. Because since when COVID started, I retired from SHAD after 16, 17 years.
Okay.
I was also on the board of directors for 10 years.
Now, as you know, Sharing Our Cultures, we engage high school youth in various programs and activities. So, particularly for newcomer youth who are not familiar with SHAD, can you tell us a bit about what it does?
So SHAD basically is a 27-day program. It's we have, I think, 19 campuses across Canada now. So if you're from Newfoundland, you would go to another campus somewhere else, right? So what they do is during the program, there's every program is slightly different, but the general structure of the program is that they would have, it's a live-in, so they live on campus for 27 days, eat, sleep, everything together. They attend lectures in the morning usually, and they have morning activities, and then they have hands-on labs and seminars in the afternoon, and then they have a recreation period, and then they have to work on a house project. Every year the theme is different. They don't get to bed till at least 11, and every day. Okay. So it's high intensity, very, I would say, intensive learning, environment, and they get to mix with peers, basically of similar background and similar. Normally the kids would come and say, "Oh, I thought I was the only one who likes programming or do this strange stuff," what they consider strange, right? But when they meet with other kids of the same age and same interests, and some are even higher achieving, it really inspires them as well. Okay. So it's a lot of fun dealing with these kids because they know far more than you about all kinds of stuff, right? I mean, you need tech support, you can call on them, Right. So it's a lot of fun. Okay. Yeah. And
so each student will get an opportunity to choose what particular topic or subject they want.
Not really. No. We try, as the organizers, we make sure that we pick very interesting lectures. Normally, we pick the instructor more than the topic, right? We prefer to have somebody who come with passion. It doesn't matter what topic it is, So in Newfoundland, I mean, we have, for example, we had T.A. Loeffler talking about climbing Everest. It's inspiring kind of stuff. And we have a musician talking about composing and award-winning musicians. We have award-winning authors talking about process of writing books, and anything that they're passionate about, and they can inspire the shads to probably do likewise or achieve more and things like that. And every year we also invite a former premier to talk about their life in politics, totally non-partisan, but basically trying to inspire them why public service is an important thing, So we had Danny Williams, we had Paul Davies, we had Katie Dunderdale, and so all these former premiers. Okay. So I would say it's a privilege for them to come and to talk to the kids, right?
Yes.
Yeah, to tell them about why it's important for public service and things like that. Yeah, as a career choice.
Right. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Now, of course, I've mentioned earlier that you are involved in so many other inventions and innovative ideas. So I'd like to ask you about the squash device. Yes.
So that's a good question, I would say. So I've been playing squash for quite a while, I would say, since the 90s. And my son was also into squash. In fact, he was the 2-time provincial squash champion. And because of, and I'm also a certified coach. So again, when you think of, it's a teaching thing, right? Yes. So you think of, maybe there's a tool or device that you could invent to help them improve their movement and things like that. So I came up with something called the foot worker. Okay. Foot worker, right? So this is a pro version. Okay. So this is put in the front of a squash court, and then let me turn it on. You can see. So it turns on just to show that it's working, and then, oops, sorry. So now it's working. So you have 10 seconds to get ready. We'll move back to the T, which is the center of the court.
Right.
So this is put in front of the court, right? So what it does is that the lights, when it beeps, then you're supposed to run to that corner of the court and hit the ball. Of course, you're pretending to hit the ball, right? It's the movement that you're trying to train, right? How quickly you can move from lights to light. I mean, that way, so that you have efficient movement, and also it trains your endurance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's more like a training tool.
It is
for
a training
sports
tool.
player.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that the coach can look at them and provide proper correction, of their movement and things like that, right? Yeah. So so I've been selling this for more than 10 years now, and it's probably over 20 countries, used by the Australian Institute of Sport. Most of the top coaches, 2-time world champion. Right. Yeah. So
there's a lot in your mind and in your head that you're thinking, oh, I've got to do this, and as soon as you meet something that's challenging for someone, you want to do something about it and you want to help them.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, like what they call necessity is the mother of invention. Exactly, exactly, right? You saw that, oh, there's a need, maybe I'll try it, right? And then we say, gee, we could make it better, and then we redesign it, and then so maybe I can sell this,
Okay, that's right. So an entrepreneur and an inventor, and you're also a ukulele music teacher.
Yeah, well, that happened after I retired.
Okay.
Finally, I said, okay, now I have time to do something, right? You have to keep busy. So just after I retired, I took up ukulele. I started the guitar first, then I realized that, I just can't play it, right? For some reason. So I said, I'll start something easier, 4 strings only.
Okay.
And then after a while, you get serious, I started with a community program, and then I got a private instructor, and then after that, I did some online courses with a renowned instructor from Halifax. And then I did a certification course. So now I'm a certified ukulele teacher. I'm doing my second level now.
Wow.
Yeah, I have 2 students, yes.
And you never played ukulele prior to this?
No.
And you didn't play any other stringed instrument?
Well, I did play the violin when I was a teenager. Well, it was about 50 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And so you were able to pick up ukulele and play and become certified and teach it?
Yes. So anybody can do it. You don't need any talent. What you need is perseverance and just practice.
Right.
I basically drive my wife crazy because I practice 3-4 hours a day, right?
Yes.
Every day. So because you have to catch up on time lost from your.
Yeah.
So it's practice. The main thing is lots of practice, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We used to tell our children that when they were playing musical instruments.
Yeah.
Yes, you
But they don't
practice all
believe
the
that at
time.
that time until you get older, and then now that you're learning it for fun, it's not a chore anymore. You want. And this is the reason why I went into the teaching certification, because you have to teach somebody, right? You have to learn it better yourself, right?
Yes.
You're not just learning for the sake of learning, but now you have to teach it to somebody. Right. So you learn a lot more by it's like regular teaching, right?
Okay, right.
That the instructor, the prof has to learn more. Like they say, to teach is to learn again, right? In a different way. Okay. So I would say I learn better now that I have to teach it.
Right.
Yes. Yes. So that's what I do in my retirement. Besides that, I also play ukulele. I mean, pickleball. It's called pickleball.
Oh, right. Yes. Tell us about pickleball.
Okay, pickleball. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in North America. Okay. It's played in a badminton-sized court. It's like tennis, but it's a mixture of tennis, badminton, ping pong, and like squash, a bit of squash. So you have some racket sports background. Is really easy to pick up. Yeah, so I've been playing that almost every day with, and my wife, she's also really keen on that. So that's what is keeping us really busy and active, because we play almost every day. Right. And so we started that, I think, in 2017.
Okay.
And now I'm the founding president of the Pickleball Newfoundland and Labrador.
Wow.
Yeah, so we formalized an organization. So we are part of the National Pickleball Association, Pickleball Canada. We're part of Pickleball Canada.
Okay, that's
so
national.
Yes, so we hope to, the sport is growing very quickly in Newfoundland as well.
All right.
Right, so as more, especially most of them are seniors. So the group that I play with are all in their 70s and 80s. You know?
You're the youngest one.
I was, yes, true. I am the youngest one. I'm 65. I'm the youngest one. Yes.
Okay.
The oldest is 85.
Oh.
Yeah, still playing. So,
That's good.
so it's very inclusive.
Right.
Lots of women are playing.
Right.
So in the next squad will be like a whole bunch of grandmothers playing.
Okay.
But you never believe that they're grandmothers because they're so active, right?
Right, yes.
Yeah, so it's a very inclusive sport.
Right. And active living is so important
Yes.
now, yes, for your well-being.
Yes, so yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
So I have no time to work now.
No, it's more time for recreation and
Yes.
fun. Well, thank you so much for being with us here today. We've learned so much from you. There's
Thank you for having
everything
me.
you do, and be sure some other people who are going to listen to this broadcast and watch this broadcast are going to be coming for you, looking for you, because you've shared so much about what you do, and it has a significant impact on other people's lives. So a lot of what you're doing is helping other people, and that makes a big difference in their lives. So we
I enjoy it myself, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
so thank you so
All right.
much for
Thank
joining
you.
us today. And Sharing Our Cultures will be right back. Thank you to our guest, Dr. Leonard Lye, and to you for watching us today. Join us again on Sharing Our Cultures, and we'll see you next time.
If you want convenience, Marie's Mini Mart is here for you. A one-stop shop for a variety of products, home-style breads, sandwiches, plus check out our freshly baked artisan breads and single-serve desserts exclusively at our in-store bakery on Frecker Drive. With 25 locations, wherever you go, there we are.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
Watching hockey just got a power play with NHL Center Ice and Super Sports Pack. With up to 37 out-of-market NHL games a week, you'll always catch your favorite team no matter where you live. Whether it's big matchups you're looking for or following your top fantasy picks, it's all here. NHL Center Ice, part of the Rogers Super Sports Pack. All this for only $35.95 a month.